Hi students, welcome to the problem solving session on stable or unstable system. So here they have given input-output relation. We have to check whether the given systems are stable or unstable system. So it is very easy, we will solve that. The problem 1 is y of n is equal to 3 power n u of n, right? So what is a stable system? Yeah, stable system is one bounded input produces bounded output. Right, bounded input means x of n should be always finite for any n, right? So that's what bounded input. Similarly, bounded output means y of n should be finite for any n. Okay, even when n tends to infinity, the input, the magnitude should be, so that's what mod x of n. Mod x of n should be finite. This is what the definition. If you don't know this, please refer my video on BIBO stable system. So you see this in this example, we know u of n is always bounded because u of n ranges from n goes to n goes to 0 to infinity, right? N goes to 0 up to any n. U of n magnitude is always 1. So at n tends to infinity also the magnitude is 1. So this is always bounded, right? So but you see here, when n tends to infinity, what happens when n tends to infinity? This is bounded, but a 3 power infinity is infinite, that is unbounded. So when you multiply unbounded with the bounded value, result will be unbounded, right? So what will happen? It is not BIBO stable system, right? So simple one. So the answer is BIBO unstable system. Next, n square into x of n, right? Second problem is y of n is equal to n square into x of n, right? Anyway, we are going to give input as bounded input only, so the input is always bounded, no problem. But when n tends to infinity, that is time tends to infinity, here even though n tends to infinity, the input is bounded, so that is not a problem for us. We are going to give bounded input only. But when n tends to infinity, this will become infinity. Any bounded value by infinity, the result will be unbounded. So what happens? Bounded input produces unbounded output. So this is called unstable system. It is not stable. Okay, let us go to third problem. Y of n is equal to 2 sin x of n. Y of n is equal to 2 sin x of n. How can we check? The input must be bounded, so I give bounded input. That means finite value. We know whatever be the input, sine has maximum value of +1, minimum value of -1. Yes or no? So the maximum value of sine is +1, the minimum value is -1. If it is multiplied by 2, the maximum value become +2, minimum value will become -2. So whatever be the n value, right, the y of n will be lying between +2 and -2, which is bounded. So bounded input produces what you call bounded output, right? So this is a stable system. Are you understanding logic? So it is discrete time, so we have to take a samples, right? So draw like this. Fine. Are you getting the point? Okay. Fourth problem. Y of n is equal to n goes to k goes to 0 to n x of k, right? So y of n is equal to summation k goes to 0 to n x of k, right? So what I'm going to do, as usual, I am applying bounded input. So x of n is always bounded, that's what my condition. I apply bounded input, but when n tends to infinity, what will happen? When n tends to infinity, this will become infinite, right? Infinite, even though its value is 1, when n tends to infinity, the summation will become infinite. That is, y of n becomes infinite, right? When n is finite, y of n is finite. Yes or no? Even my input is different, n is different, right? X of n is input, where n is a time instant. Are you understanding the difference between these two? So input is always bounded. I don't have any issue with that. That's what I have to apply and check whether I am getting bounded output. But x of n is input bounded, that's not a problem. But time instant tends to infinity. If you sum k is equal to 0 to infinity, if you sum anything for infinite times, the result will be infinite. So that is unbounded. So the system is bounded when n is finite. The system is stable when n is finite, unstable when n is infinite. That is what our answer. Okay, right. Next problem. Y of n is equal to 2 into u of minus n. So I do here y of n is equal to 2 into u of minus n. Fine. Okay, what is u of minus n? U of minus n will go from, we know, minus infinity to 0. U of n is 0 to infinity. U of minus n 0 to minus infinity, mirror image. So sorry, it's a discrete, so we have to draw discrete signal, right? So this is what maximum up to minus infinity 0. You see, u of n max magnitude is plus 1, that is multiplied by 2, so it will be 2. So even though whatever it be, the magnitude at even n is equal to minus infinity is 2 only. So the bounded input is produced bounded output. So output is always bounded, right? Because your 2u of minus n is bounded. So it is BIBO stable system. Right? So I hope you understand the concept clearly. If you have any doubt, please ask me in comment section. I will clarify. Thank you.